Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us on season 3 of BAEP Talks With. If you've not been here before, BAEP Talks With is a 30-minute discussion with a person who lives with, manages, treats, or supports others with a chronic menstrual health disorder. My name is Julia Mandeville. I am one of the co-founders of the Barbados Association of Endometriosis and P.C.O.S. and your host for the January session. And today I am joined by Miss Celia Collymore, and we're going to talk about personal development. And with that, welcome, Celia.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for joining us. And so, as we said, we're going to be talking about personal development today. And I know persons might have heard of Bajan Fusion, and they might mainly think of it as maybe just, a fitness training service, but it's more than that. It's a fitness lifestyle service. So do you want to tell us why this distinction is happening?
Sure. So let me just give you an overview of Bajan Fusion.
Sure.
Bajan Fusion is a fitness lifestyle service where we package experiences around the island for locals and visitors. So in any given month, you can experience mountain biking, hiking, caving, paintball, paddleboard, horseback riding, you name it. It's all about doing something new, doing something different, doing something challenging, and most importantly, doing something for you. Our list of services are not just the soft adventure and the sporting activities. We also do exercise classes, focusing on personal training and personal development. We also do lifestyle workshops as well. So if a company wanted us to come in and do team building or have a conversation as it relates to stress management, wellness, we can do that as well. We also have our Inspired Out t-shirt. So really just trying to connect with people and inspire people from the inside out. So Bajan Fusion, we take a holistic approach to the individual and really kind of taking people on this journey of self-discovery.
Awesome, great. And you mentioned, team building and stress management. And I know, especially as we're still in unprecedented times, I'm sure those services have come in really handy. You also currently have a program, Sweat Work. I was very interested in this program. So you describe it as a practical program designed to help women accomplish their personal and professional goals. What led you to develop such a program? And what are some of the tips that you can share with others with accomplishing their goals?
Yes, great. So Sweat Work is an acronym. Serious women engaging and transforming work. So we're taking that holistic approach to work as well. You're not just focusing on working every single day, but you're working on yourself, body, mind, and spirit. You're also working on your business. So again, I'm a business owner. So for me, the connection of connecting with other women. So part of that work is networking. So it's about bringing women within the same space, having conversations around the things that is challenging us personally and professionally. And how do we connect? How do we brainstorm? How do we help support each other on our journey while we're accomplishing our goals? So it's really about an accountability group, a support network of women where we all have this goal of building our businesses, doing it really well and being very successful. But at the end of the day, there are a lot of challenges that we come up against, and how do we support each other on the journey? So it becomes not only an accountability group, but we build a sisterhood. That's really what it is. I want the space to be very intimate, where everybody's comfortable, they feel safe in the space, they're vulnerable, because at the end of the day, for us to change, we need to be able to be vulnerable. We need to be able to share. I cannot help you if you're not sharing with me. If you're holding things in, if you're bottling things up, you can't get the support, or you can't create the change that you want. So it's really about helping women reshape their perspective, reshape their mindsets, and find more practical ways to accomplish the things that they say that they want to accomplish.
Okay, so is there a reason why it was specifically catering towards women as opposed to being co-ed?
Right now, I'm a woman.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, there are things that are for us, and I'm not a man, so I cannot think about men in this respect in terms of me building my business. And when you think about how business is in Barbados and the greater world, men are mostly at the forefront. And we as women, we have to work a little harder. We have to push a little harder. We got to dig deeper too. And how do we as a collective support each other? And how do we build? And how do we grow together? And good question though, because one of my friends said to me, one of my colleagues wanted to know, like, why not men? Why are you not catering to men?
Mhm.
I can't do I can do it, but in the first instance, I wanted to make sure I was focusing on me and I was focusing on the other women that are connected to me. And as I go through that first iteration of the program, yes, I can definitely make it about sweat work for men, but then it wouldn't be serious women. So
Right.
it would be changing that the name of it, but
Right.
still creating the package in a way that men can be supported. Again, in my network, as I do what I do, I don't only inspire women, I inspire men. The WhatsApp messages, the Facebook messages, the Instagram messages, the comments on my posts, a lot of men, you know, they're encouraged by my posts, they're encouraged by what I do and how I'm doing it. So I know I can add value to men. It just becomes a matter of time and how that experience is packaged for them.
Right, understood. Okay, great. And so you mentioned accountability, and I'm happy you mentioned that, because going into my next question, like, it's the beginning of the year. We all have our New Year's resolutions. We all set, like, for some people, they could be realistic. For others, it could be lofty goals. But people tend to set goals around this time. So it's easy to talk that talk, and it's easy to write down those goals. But then how does one go from idea to action, especially when we have, you know, you can lose motivation. You could encounter a situation or person and you're discouraged. Some people call them energy vampires when it comes to people. And you can also be, you know, persons like us in the organization who we have these chronic conditions and pain and, you know, illness can just hit us all of a sudden and kind of derail progress. So then how do we ensure that whilst we do have these barriers, how do we ensure that we overcome them and keep working towards our goals, especially as it pertains to our personal development?
Yes, so the question that I would ask is, how bad do you want it? We hear it all the time. Eric Thomas, you know, online, if you follow him on YouTube or on social media, the question is always asked, how bad do you want it? And my question is, what are you going to do about it? If you want it so bad, what are you going to do about it? And that's what it really comes down to. You have to hold yourself accountable. So there's the accountability, but there's also the self-accountability. Who am I? What do I want? What am I going to do? How am I going to get there? Who's going to help me get there? Right? So being able to not only ask those questions, but answer and action those questions. And it becomes very simple. Like, start to think about what it is you want and start to break that down in little bite sizes. What do I need to do today to bring me a little closer to that thing? And again, goals can be created, but doesn't mean that they're going to be accomplished the same day or the same week or the same month. You have to be very realistic with your goals and how you're going to go about creating tasks and being able to action them. So I'm sure you've heard of the whole SMART goals concept: specific, measurable, achievable or attainable, realistic, and time bound. And when you start to use that method as it relates to creating your goals, you now have to create an action plan behind that and execute. So it isn't just to talk it, but to do it. And is it something that you're doing on your own, or do you have a support system? Do you need a support system to get there? And reality is, for me, I don't think about what I am currently doing that drives me. I think about what my commitment to myself has been years ago when I was living in the US and I worked for a global financial services company in human resources. One of my mentors, who was also a coach, I remember us going through the whole personal development, helping me to grow, helping me to figure out who I wanted to be in this world. And I just remember writing down and saying to her, I want to make a difference in the lives of many, one person, one opportunity at a time. That wasn't Bajan Fusion. That is, I want to make a difference in the lives of many, one person at a time. Bajan Fusion is the catalyst of that. Bajan Fusion helps to support that vision that I have for myself. But everything I do, I want to make a difference in the lives of many, one person, one opportunity at a time. So I don't need to impact millions at once. But if I can touch someone's life and if I can be a part of somebody's story as it relates to fitness or wellness, personal development, an encouraging word, giving a tip, That's how I want to create the impact. So it doesn't have to be a particular business. It doesn't have to be a particular thing, but you have to know what vision you want to have for yourself and start to create the values behind that. What are you going to do every single day? How are you going to go about it? Who is going to help you on that journey? You have a lot of people who say, I don't have the time for it. I'm so busy, I can't get it done. And another coach, I remember him saying, busy is a negative. Everybody always has the excuse, they're busy, busy, busy. If you want something bad enough, you're going to make it happen. And he starts saying, throw that word out. Throw busy out. You're not busy. If something is important to you, you are actively achieving results. And from that day, you can't even ask me to use that word busy. Like, I don't say it. And whenever my friends say it or my colleagues say it, I just remind them, if this business, this thing that you're doing is important to you, this is not busy work. This is your life's work. Everything you do, is action. You're actively achieving a result. It's taking you to the next step. It's taking you to the next level. You are moving forward. You are growing. Yes. So for me, it is everything I touch, how I communicate, who I connect with. I am moving closer to my dreams. I am moving forward. So every day I am doing something. It doesn't have to be a lot and it doesn't have to be grand, but you need to make sure that you're moving yourself closer and closer to the thing or things that you say that you want to accomplish. And personal development is personal. So you are working on yourself. It's a choice that you're making a decision. This is who I am. This is what I want. This is how I'm going to go about it. This is who's going to help me on the journey. You have to ask the questions. You have to answer them. You have to execute on them as well. And that's how you start to realize your goals. Because I remember Will Smith saying, when you say what you want, the universe opens up for you, but you have to start. You can't just talk it. You have to start it. You have to be it. You have to become it. And the more you become a success in the journey that, or the way you decide that you want to design your life. So I know that I am designing my life because I always remember the commitment that I made to myself years ago. And every day I continue to work towards that.
I don't know if it's more of a segue or it's looking at it from a different perspective, but yes, we have to be dedicated and working towards a goal, but then where does grace come in? Like, if you, again, let that discouragement maybe at one point, take over more than it really should. How do you, give yourself the grace to realize that, it's okay to feel your feelings? And then what are the tips then to, again, still get her wrong? What could be considered a low point as you're still progressing towards your goal, but they might be just a bit of a hiccup. So any tips there?
Right. And yes, it is okay. It's okay to feel your feels. It's okay to be at a low. It's okay to worry. It's okay to have fear. All of that stuff is okay. And you can acknowledge those feelings, but you can't stay there. You can't stay there. It's about not staying down. It's about feeling it, acknowledging it, and then saying, what next? What do I need to do next? And I can use myself as an example. When I was at my lowest, and I am back in Barbados because my visa was not renewed at a company that I work for in the US, and I was at my lowest, right? And I was depressed. I lost a lot of weight. The same, why me? Like, I'm a loyal employee. I'm a good employee. I do a good work. But at the end of the day, the decision was made. Yes. And I had to make a decision on that decision. And that's what happens when things are at their lowest. You have to make a decision. You're already low. So the only place is up. So how do you get up? How do you start? How do you start to move? One step at a time, incremental, small steps at a time. Write it down. Don't just think about it. Write it down. Write down the things that you want to. Get somebody else to hold you accountable. Julia, right now, I'm going through a challenge, but I need to go over there. Can you help me? Ask for help. Seek help. Find people that you trust. Find people that you love and that love you, people that you can confide in, and show them where you are and ask for the support to help you along the way. Like right now, I'm working on writing a book, right? And I have to get most of it done by October. Oh, I have 2 people holding me accountable. You understand? Because at the end of the day, I know I can be like, oh, I don't feel like it. or there might be some fear that is holding me back. I don't know why, but it's letting sometimes the people that you love and you trust, and then you just need to tell them so that they can kind of give you that nudge to remind you and to keep you going. But the feelings that you have, it is okay. Just don't stay there. Remember why you're here. Remember what your purpose is, and allow that to drive you and push you forward.
Yeah, thank you for that too. Because so one of the things BAEP is going to be doing as the start of the year is our counseling psychologist, Vanya. She's actually going to be leading a vision board session so that we can incorporate SMART goals and have, again, bringing the community together and being intentional and moving forward again individually, but also, if you choose to have an accountability buddy after the session, that can also be something that comes out of it. But it's just to make sure that persons know it's okay. You have your goals, and there are the other persons within your community that want to also help you reach your goals.
And I just want to add something. I learned a quote back in the day. So even though you have this accountability, think about that word responsibility. Responsibility is being able to get something done when no one is watching. So even though you have accountability, right, you have to be responsible for the things that you say that you want. Because at the end of the day, it's okay to say, yes, I'm doing it. I can't see you. I don't know that you're doing it. You saying it to me, I don't know. But responsibility is being able to get something done when no one is watching. And then we see the result. You're doing the work, which is the process, but everybody else gets to see the result of the thing that you say that you were doing. So it is being accountable, but also being responsible for the things that you say that you want to accomplish.
So accountability, responsibility, those two go hand in hand. How often should one do check-ins, assess their progress with their personal development goals? Let's say you let's use the vision boarding session. You set up a vision board for a year. Where should you be checking off your progress, or is it more again, dependent on the individual?
It depends on the individual, but if it's a vision board, I see it every day. So my check-in should be every day. It might be morning and night. So when I think about my goals, I have my goals written down in my journal. Bajan Fusion, we have a journal called Enhance Your Life.
Nice.
Yeah. And I look at my goals every morning to remind me about the things that I said that I want to accomplish in 2022. And this year, a friend said to me, Celia, don't just write them down, pray over them. So the thing that I am doing that is different is praying over my goals, praying over the things that I say that I want. And that was powerful for me to know that I have a friend who is looking out for me, because she knows, she's rooting for me. She wants the best for me, but she's saying, if you got these goals, pray over them, pray without ceasing. And it's that's the thing that I'm doing, but I feel good. I feel powerful when I get up on mornings, and that's the first thing I do. I get on my knees and I pray. It wasn't something that, even though I might stand up and walk around and talk to God, right? Now it is get on your knees. Yes, be vulnerable, have that conversation, open up your journal, read those goals again. From one, right now I have 10 that I have written down. There are lots more, but the ones that are in front of my face that are priority right now, that relating to Bajan Fusion and relating to myself, I have those written down. And one thing I used to, even if you don't use the vision board, is you can just start to list all of those goals down in your planner, your journal. And as you accomplish them, little goals, they don't have to be all big. You might just say, look, I need to go to a doctor's visit. I need to schedule my doctor's visit. That's a goal. And if you have to go next week and you did it, just check it off. You checked it off and you did it. You did it to say, look, mission completed. Mission completed. So I would write, so what I did in the US, and I still continue to do it, I would write in either blue or black. And whenever I have completed, I would check off in red and I would date it. And then I would reflect as well. So those reflections can be at night. So you go through the day and you look at your list and what have I accomplished? How did I go about accomplishing that thing? How did I feel about accomplishing that thing? Who was in the mix as I was accomplishing? So you're reflecting daily, you're assessing all that has happened. And then tomorrow is you're planning for tomorrow. How do I now prepare for tomorrow? How do I want my tomorrow to become? What should it look like? tomorrow. And again, you know that you're going out in the world and you're mixing with people, and people can add to your day, but there are things that you want to be able to create and structure for yourself so that when you go out, you're not really shifted too much by people,
Right.
because again, people throw a lot on you. So you also have to, like in the Bible, to put on your armor, right? So you have to decide how you want to wake up, how you want to get up, how you want your day to go, and how you want to be able to interact with people. And if it isn't the energy that you want, you walk away from it, you pull back. You get to decide how you want to create the vision for yourself. And that's the beauty about us as human beings. We get these visions and we get to design the life that we want. Animals don't get to design their lives. They use instincts. We get that. And I remember Jim Rome saying, we as human beings, we have the dignity of choice. We have the dignity of choice. You get to choose what it is you want to do. And of course, we don't get to choose if we wake up. But when we do get up, what are you going to do with the time that you have here?
Well, so I'm hearing accountability, responsibility, intention, reflection. Are there any other key terms that I'm missing?
Did I say decision making? Right, the choice.
The choice, yes.
You have to be able to make a choice. And I also wrote some tips here to invest in yourself. Invest in yourself. And that investment in yourself, it could be time, it could be money, it could be effort, but whatever it is, that investment is an expenditure of energy. You have to put in work. Anything you want is effort. It just doesn't show up and serve on a plate. You literally have to be intentional, but you have to put in the effort. Physical activity requires effort. It requires energy. Passing that exam, you got to study. Yes, there are people who, very good, they go through class, they hold that information and they can take. But most of us, we have to prepare. We have to study for effort. Everything that you want requires an expenditure of energy, and you have to be willing to put that in. Another tip I have is seek out the services of a coach, personal development coach like myself. Find someone who's lived it before, people who have done it before that can help guide you. At the end of the day, there are things that you're going to do on your own and you're going to figure out. But if you want to get there faster or sooner, you want to have people who can help to support you on that. And again, these are other people that can hold you accountable and help you to gain a better and deeper perspective. And it's a relationship that you have to build. And it's about getting to know, is this person the right person that can support me on my journey? And I think from last year into now, I actually made a decision to also help to mentor and coach entrepreneurs as well, because I have lived a life. I'm approaching my 10 years and it has been a lot. There's a lot that I have done. There's a lot that I have learned as a business owner. And for me, the young persons, a lot of people are very talented, but they're not necessarily skilled. And how do I support them on the areas of their life that they don't think about, but can help add value to their product and their service? Yes? Right. So the next one too is take care of your overall wellness, your body, your mind, your spirit. How do you take care of your health? What are you consuming? Are you getting the physical activity? I would say to people all the time, your wellness is your superpower. It's your competitive advantage. If you are not well, if you are injured, if you are sick, you can't perform at optimum. You can't do the things that you want to do. Yeah, so it's about how do you keep that energy alive? How do you keep that passion alive? How do you stay healthy and strong? You have to take care of your body. You have to eat well. You have to get rest as well. It isn't just about being physical, but you have to eat well. You have to get rest. You have to keep stress at bay, because trust me, stress is a killer. It definitely does. And how do you keep stress at bay? What are the activities you're doing to help relieve that stress? Is it mindfulness? Is it meditation? Is it praying? Is it going to the beach? Whatever it is that helps with the mind and the mind part of it. And when I think about spirit, I don't think religion. I think about energy. When you asked me to join this chat because there's something about me that you believe can add value to, that's my spirit. what people experience, how people experience me, that's my spirit at work, that's my spirit in action. So when people say, oh my God, you're so passionate, you're so, and that's my spirit at work, right? So it becomes, what are you giving people? What energy are you giving people? And what energy do you want? So you're still paying attention to the relationships that you have in your circle, or the relationships that you're looking to create, whether it's personal or professional. And wellness encapsulate fitness, nutrition, mindset. Wellness encapsulate all of that. So you're on that journey of your overall, or improving your overall wellness, but you're taking a holistic approach to it.
Yeah, it's really important that we really focus on it as a holistic process, because sorry, when you mentioned getting enough rest, that hit a nerve for me personally. And I know that there's so many people, again, especially during this time, that are not getting enough sleep. Like, we're home, but we're not rested, because you're always
deep rest. So it's not just rest, but it has to be deep. Like, you need to get a solid 6, 7, 8 hours. If you're sleeping but you're restless.
Exactly, because people have all these things
on. Correct. Your nutrition also adds to your sleep. So you also have to be mindful of what you're consuming. You want to eat whole foods. You want to eat foods that support your brain, that support your stomach, your digestive system. And it's about doing your research. I can talk as much as I want here, but at the end of the day, I think it's important that people do their research. And that's another point, to do your research as well. You know where you are. I don't know where you are. You know where you are at whatever point, at this point in your life. And it's like, what are the things that I need to do? How do I need to empower myself? Knowledge is power, but knowledge is power when it's applied. So it's about not just listening to a video and say, oh, that video was great. What can I gain? What can I take from that video and apply it to my life? That book that I've read. So doing reading, so you're researching, you're reading, you're listening to podcasts, you're watching videos. It's about doing more for yourself. Personal development is personal. You are working on yourself. You're not working on the next person. You are working on yourself. Yes. Let me see what else I have here. Get outdoors and explore. Barbados is beautiful, or wherever you are, pay attention to your environment. Like this morning, we went to do a recon for a hike. And of course, we don't know if hikes are going to happen, but I always like to plan, and I always like to be prepared. And it's also a great way, like we said this morning, to ramble. You're going into these new spaces. You want to give people experiences. So you're like, should we go left? Should we go right? And thank God, my tour guide, he has a map on his phone so we can see if to go left, go right. So it is how do you get outside and just look around, look at your environment a little differently. We have all this abundance around us, and how do we appreciate all that it is? And then go outside and the sun is like beating on your skin, the wind is blowing, just kind of experience the elements, experience what is around you. Get to the beach, go for a walk. It isn't always about having to do fitness. It isn't about that, but just getting out, relaxing your mind, clearing your mind. Those are the things that make a difference. So if you're in Barbados, I say get outdoors, explore, come to a Bajan Fusion event.
Yes.
You will get to experience and see new things, but it's about clearing your mind, recharging, and going back again. It isn't that you have to go and get a massage. Of course, it's very important. I think to get a massage is very good, but sometimes you just need that 5 minutes to recharge, to get outside. Right. If you have an animal, take your dog for a walk. So those are the things that I use, or I do every day, to make sure that I can get the elements, I can get that vitamin D in my system, and I can feel refreshed and recharged to do more work. Another thing that I have written down is, if you are a business owner, I would encourage you to learn about all elements of your business. You don't have to be an expert at it, but you want to know all elements, because when you decide that you're going to hire someone, you decide that you want to hire someone, you know your business enough that if they're doing certain things, you can ask them questions, you can question them on it, you can challenge them on it, but you want to make sure that you understand. If you are working for someone, make sure you understand your job and you're doing your job well. And you also want to find other ways that you can advance in your career. Some people are very comfortable where they are, but if you want to move forward in your job, you want to do your job well, you want to have a relationship with your manager, you want to commit to conversation with your manager so they're clear as to what your goals are, because your manager's job is to help you succeed. Yes, they have responsibilities to make sure that they achieve the results for the company, but as a manager, your manager is responsible for your success. And the only way they can help you with your success is if they also take the responsibility to get to know you as an employee, and you get to share with them what your goals are personally and professionally, and they're supposed to also help figure out a way to help you get there, but you also have to put in the work. So work on yourself, but also making sure that you're doing your work and you're doing it well. Another tip I have is network. So we talked about sweat work earlier. If you want to, again, networking is really based on your goals, but even your group, yes, BAEP, you ladies are a network.
Yeah.
You are a network of women right now. You're challenged with this health condition, but you're a support system for each other, and you can stay within that space, but you can also connect with other people. I am part of your network. Yes. Right now we're networking, we are sharing. If you are curious enough, another thing that I was saying to people this year is make curiosity part of your action plan. Be curious, get to know more about people, and naturally as you get to know about people, they will naturally want to get to know about you. Right? This is all part of your skill building. This is all part of personal development. You have a lot of people who will talk about, I'm shy, I don't really want to talk to people.
I'm introverted, yep.
Right, I'm real comfortable with the people. That's fine. If that's your prerogative, be that. But if you're someone that have big goals and you want to achieve things, you have to make connections with people. You have to step out of your comfort zone. You have to make those connections. If you go on to my IG handle, it says connect with Celia, right? I want you to connect with me, but I am also reminding myself it's about connecting with people. Yes, there are a lot of people that would message you, make comments on your thing, and then you go, you check them out, and you're interested. How can I make a connection with this? Because at the end of the day, I am finding ways to also give my brand more visibility. And when I brand, I mean my personal brand, and I also mean my professional brand, Bajan Fusion. But again, everything still comes down to goals. If you're working within an organization, you're still networking. Those relationships that you're building within the organization, those are the things that help you get that promotion. If you're not only talking to your boss, but you're making connections with other people, whether it's within your same department or another division within the company. But that personal development journey becomes a choice. I want to grow, I want to improve, I want to be better in 2022 and beyond than I have ever been. It's a commitment to yourself, and it's work that you definitely have to do. Another tip I have, and the last tip I have, is be you, do you, and stay true to yourself. Stay true to who you are. Sometimes being you requires shifting and shifting and shaping. But if you want to be better, you have to also challenge yourself to become better, right? I'm not trying to be Julia. I'm trying to be Celia. I'm trying to be a better version of Celia. Who I was last year, a lot of it is carried over into 2022, but the visions that I have for myself, there's so much more work. I believe that I am still at 50%. I don't feel like I'm anywhere close to where I want to be. I had visions of myself being on a big stage talking to people. Yes, and it's coming. It's coming, right? Because I'm preparing myself. I'm preparing myself for it. And that's what it is, the preparation, the work that nobody sees, right? The work that nobody sees, the work that nobody sees. And you got to remind yourself, the work that nobody sees is what you have to do in order to get where you want to go. What they see, what everybody sees, is the end result of the process.
Yeah.
The growing happens during the process, when it's uncomfortable, when you don't feel like doing it, you're in the mood. that's really growing. That's when you get to challenge yourself. That's where you get to grow. So it's about how do you encourage yourself to become the best version of yourself. And it requires a bit of discomfort, but it's worth it in the end. And that's how I live my life. I don't grow through comfort. I don't grow by doing the same things over and over again. And even with Bajan Fusion, I have to consistently innovate. So there are things that I will do, but how do I make it different for the person who is a repeat customer? How do I make it different? Is it that I am adding something new as it relates to something to eat? Am I doing something different in terms of activity? How do I create a little different experience, even though they might be coming into the same type of event, but getting a different experience? So it's about keeping top of mind. How do I consistently get creative and innovate within myself and within the business?
Celia, you've just given us so many tips and so much food for thought. I don't know if I should ask this question, but I'm still gonna ask it. Like, you've just given us so much, but is there anything else you'd like to leave with our audience? Something for them to really like, if there was one thing you want them to like really hang on to after this conversation.
Just do the thing that you say that you want to do. You know, yes, you're going to be scared. Yes, it's going to be uncomfortable, but those things that you have been putting off, do not put them off any longer. Make things happen. Everything that you're doing for yourself. You're doing to become better. You're doing it for your family. You're doing it for self-improvement. You're doing it for progress. You're doing it not just for the present, but you're doing it for your future. So I'm encouraging you to do. 2022 is the year of do. Do something new, do something different, do something challenging, and most importantly, do something for you. You are not going to change what is happening out in the world, but you can change what's happening inside of you. So I'm encouraging you to do.
I love it. I'm not going to add anything else. I think we can just leave it there. What I will do is I will congratulate you, Bajan Fusion, for your nomination. Yes, Gainon Awards 2022 in the year of do. You've been nominated as one of the what's the category? I don't want to miss.
Fitness Trainer of the Year.
Fitness Trainer of the Year. So again, congratulations. Good luck.
Same to you too.
Thank you.
You guys have been nominated. Say your category again.
Activist of the Year.
There you go. So congratulations to you as well and your team.
Thank you. Yes, the team has been working extremely hard. They worked extremely hard last year, and they're already starting to work extremely hard this year. So we're very excited again to be nominated with the host of other nominees. Great work from all of them.
And one thing I want to say about being nominated is you're recognized for your work. Right. And that's what I appreciate more, whether I win or not, it doesn't matter. It's more about the recognition. And the reason why your organization is getting the recognition is the work that you are doing. Right. Your head is down, your head is up, you're looking up, you're looking forward, and you're doing what you need to do. And people see that. You're not doing it for the recognition, but you get it because people see what you're doing. So I am encouraging you. I'm encouraging your organization to keep doing the work. There are women out there who are relying on you. There are women out there who need you, your support system, because guess what? We can't do it alone, and we do it better when we do it together. So continue to do the great work. And as you know, I'm always a support system. I'm always a support business for your organization.
Thank you so much. And also, again, the work that you've been doing, pressing through the pandemic and everything, just thank you so much. And I would love to, give you this space now to talk about Bajan Fusion and what we have planned for the year, if you would like.
Oh, wow. Yes, we have 21 different events scheduled for 2022. And it's not like I planned that number. It is just, all right, what am I going to do this year? What is going to be repeated from previous years? So we're going to start the year off with golfing. We're going to be doing hiking. So our events will start in February. So February 7th, all the way down to the end of November. So every weekend we're looking to do something. So really about getting people to support the brand, getting people to experience the brand, do those new and different things with Bajan Fusion. And again, there's something in there for everybody: women, children, men, fit, unfit, it doesn't matter. It's about being inclusive. It's about giving people different experiences and getting them to choose. So
Yeah.
if you go on to www.bajanfusion.com, you click on events and you get to see all of our events for the year. You get to read upon them. You can click on the book now so that you can book with us and we can connect with you. So again, whether you like the mountain biking, the hiking, the archery, golfing, caving, kayaking, paddleboarding, whatever it is that you want to do this year that is new, that is different, that is challenging, definitely connect with Bajan Fusion.
Thank you so much for sharing your expertise, your wisdom. Looking forward to your events. Going to make sure that we also share those within our network. And yeah, thank you for being so kind as to saying yes to me. I appreciate
You're
that.
very welcome, and it's always my pleasure to support you and support your organization and team.
Thank you so much. So thank you all for joining us on this very first episode of BAEP Talks with for 2022. I will see you, or we will see you, I should say, next month. So thank you. Bye.
Bye, everyone.